Hello guys, we have respawned once again with a controversial video, Makeup. I have successfully read out the first part, the first volume of the book. There are two volumes. First volume is about retrospect and the second volume is about future consideration. So basically this book was written down during the period between 1924 to 1925. At the time Adolf Hitler was jailed for revolutionary works, so he decided to write a gospel for his ideology, Nazism. He wrote on everything, his life, his early years, his struggle, and his political consideration, his ideology, his changing of ideas, his changing of minds, anti-Semitism, everything that is pertinent to his life before 924. So I think we should start. Hitler was born in 1889 near the border of Germany. The place was in Austria-Hungary, but was sandwiched between the German Empire and Austria. His early years were quite normal. He was studious, obedient, and a bright student. The paradigm shift happened at the age of 11 when he mystically got enlightenment about his German race. He became very prideful and boastful about his German nation. This is a very important point because this so-called enlightenment will ensue all the events until the World War II. This enlightenment also led him to become mature and think seriously about his career, which on average takes place at the age of 20 for most men. After a year of mental turmoil, at just the age of 12, he finally decided to become an artist. However, when he expounded this idea to his father, Alois Hitler, he ridiculed him and silenced him, saying it wouldn't bring bread to the table. His father wanted his son Hitler to become a civil servant, but he resolutely refused to do so and developed a hatred towards it and becomes obstinate, a characteristic genetically inherited from his dad, according to Hitler. When Hitler was 14 years of age, his father passed away. He was very sad about it. Now, it was time to pursue his career because there was no any restriction anymore. His mom, being a meek and bashful soul, agreed to let him pursue an art career, even though she wanted him to follow in his dad's footsteps. The next 2 years were very happy years for Adolf, as he was finally free to pursue what he wanted. But a big tragedy engulfed his life when his mother passed away as well. Now Hitler was in a do-or-die situation. Either live at the place and earn a minimum wage through labor, or go to Vienna, the capital of Austria at that time, pass the exam and get selected. He chose the latter. With a few pennies in his pockets, he voyaged to Vienna. According to him, he was fully convinced he would pull the exam off. But to his surprise, he failed. But the biggest lamentable situation had yet to come. For the next 5 years, he had to live homeless in the streets of Vienna, earning below minimum wage by making paintings that barely anyone bought. But the situation wasn't holistically worse. This bad situation also brought a blessing for him. With no money for distraction and a constant hunger that drove him, he finally found himself focused on survival, which also inspired him to immerse himself in the books and avoid wasting time. In the morning, he was working to make both ends meet, and in the evening, he used to read magazines and books to satisfy his intellectual hunger. The next 5 years lingered on like this. In the meantime, he also started studying politics, not because he liked it, but because he wanted to see what the representatives of the people are doing for the welfare of the society. But as he debated and watched the cacklings of the parliamentarians, he became very hateful towards them, because the parliamentarians were destroying the society for their own selfish games. He also stated that it is easier for the camel to pass through the hole of the needle than for a great man to come forth through the election. This was the time when he grew hatred for Marxism and social democracy, because according to him, it was dividing the German nation and polarizing the internal solidarity of the German people. In 1913, when he started earning a decent wage and could save some money, he migrated to Munich, a city of the German Empire. According to him, he was very satisfied with this and was extremely happy to see his homeland. But just a year later, in 1914, World War I broke out. Now you may be wondering if it was worse for Hitler that he was constantly in deep waters. No, he was the most lucky person in the world to see the war break out. One reason was that he was anything but pacifist, according to him, and another because, according to him, now was the chance for him to show and verify his love for his homeland and race. He served during the whole war and was sent to the hospital several times due to injuries, but each time he recovered and went to the war again. Such was the enthusiasm and love he had for his land and people. Now, World War I was also a period of his life when he became an extremist anti-Semitic. In the past, he was rather less racist and anti-Semitic, but somehow the horrors of war escalated his anti-Semitism so much that he blamed Jews for every misconduct that was happening in the world. He stated Jews make a state in the state. They systematically endeavored to control the masses by their mathematically accurate propaganda to sow division among the masses. He blamed Jews for the loss of World War I and regarded social democracy and Marxism as a plot of Jews to destroy the world. At the end of the war, he abruptly took part in politics. In 1919, he joined a party named the German Worker Party, which later became the Nazi Party. He was the fifth member of this young movement. He was a very complete stranger in this land, but he had a gift of the gab and a vast knowledge to draw people in. He had somehow mastered the ability to emotionally appeal to the people with his speeches. His speech was perfectly tuned for novelty, knowledge, emotional clatter, and cadence. Soon people started following him. The young movement grew to about 3,000 in just a year, all thanks to the personality and speeches of Hitler. He was an irreplaceable asset of the party, and he used this to become the leader of the party. Now he was called Der Führer. The last chapter of the volume 1 of the book, he emphasized the importance of propaganda and race preservation. He called Jews the parasites and the Aryan race, the so-called German Aryan race, the creative workforce of humanity. He also added that the Marxism is a plot of Jews and if not stopped, will destroy the whole world. His dream was to create a German Reich, free of Jews and produce a pure Aryan German race that is the speeded creation of God.